I think something that people need to be very aware of is just sort of how extensive climate impacts are for nations like Tuvalu. I didn't know that, and I've been learning about the Pacific for many years. So thank you for the insight, because that was very shocking, and I think people need to hear about it. I want to turn to something maybe a little lighter, because I think we've covered the negatives plenty, and that was maybe to ask you about any sort of community projects, any initiatives that you found within Tuvalu that have been really impressive to you, that you've been really proud of, that you think people should know about, because I want to make sure that we share the good in all of this as well.
Thank you. There's a lot of projects going on in Tuvalu, and most of them, they usually concentrate on adaptation. So the government has, with the help of the World Bank and the Asia Development Bank, have had a lot of projects, as well as from the Australian government. We have had reclaimed lands, and also there's water and sanitation projects that focuses on making sure that everyone has access to water, because one of the most common disasters that happens in Tuvalu is drought. Because of the changing weather patterns, that we can no longer predict when the drought is coming, but we can prepare for when drought is coming. Because of the climate crisis, you are very unsure of the weather patterns, and there's so many things happening. Because with Tuvaluans, our meat, we eat a lot of fish. There's so much protein in our Tuvaluans because we love eating fish. And this, because of the climate crisis, there's a lot of coral bleaching, and our people are moving more and more further into the ocean to fish, because there's so much of coral bleaching, and there's also poisonous seaweeds that have been brought in when there are disasters. So it's not just difficult for us, but it's also difficult for living things like the fishes. But some of the projects that I am very proud of, especially our government, is the reclaimed land. We are also able to elevate the land to a higher level, so that when seas rise, we can actually still survive. Because Tuvalu is flat. We don't have any hills, no mountains, no nothing. We are just coral atolls, and it's just flat. So reclaim the land. There's also water and sanitation projects. There's also a project that about on coral restoration, which is led by the Fulingafo organization, which I am a part of. It's a youth-led organization. Personally, I have I am running a project that looks on the sustaining of our culture through dance and music. These are projects that I see are really important for our people, especially for our tupulanga, or for our generation, because with climate change coming in and technology also being on the rise, more and more of our culture is being washed away. And I see that it's really important, while we fight for climate justice, it's really important for us to not lose our ways. Because when you try to fight for something and you don't get what you want, you get disappointed, and then in that disappointment, you forget your own self. So, and this is something that I don't want for our people. While we are all for climate justice, we get so disappointed, we get so mad with the world that we forget our way. But this is dangerous because you can't be yourself when you forget your way. So the projects that I work on with the youths are things that I see that can build up our youths as a nation, as people of Tuvalu, and can also equip them in the fight against the climate crisis. So, but there are a lot of other projects. There's also I've also been involved with projects where we try to give hands-on activities for women, especially in trying to sustain and maintain the culture of weaving. Because some of the most beautiful handicrafts in the world come from the Pacific, especially the significance of the coconut tree. So we really want our generation to maintain these, because these are part of ourselves. This is part of our culture. This is part of our identity. So these are projects that I am very proud of, and I am also happy that these projects are happening for us, our people, our community, and our youth.